Hey, welcome back. This is ECZDC, and today we're taking a look at one of my favorite bags of all time, the flagship backpack from EVERGOODS, the CPL24. This has been a backpack that I've had the pleasure of using in quite a few different variants. From the very first one that came out, their V1, they released many years ago, to the classic edition you see in front of us. This one's actually a one-off mirrored version. And I've also had, a couple other colorways and the collaboration Griffin. Have not had the Phoenix version of the CPL24, but I've had many of these in my possession. And over the course of the years, I feel that this is one of the best all-around backpacks you can find, and we're going to take a look at why I think that. So let's dive in. This is made from EVERGOODS solution dyed 840D nylon. It is weather resistant. I've had these bags in various rainstorms, and in the deluges that I've been in, walking to and from work, 3 to 5 minutes outside, none of my contents have ever gotten wet. Occasionally, you'll see a little bit of wetness on the inside, mostly around the zipper line, but nothing in the bag ever got wet. It was just starting to begin to soak in. So if you're considering, this as a work bag for your commutes, and there's a chance you're going to get caught in some rain, this is probably a good option. If you live in a super rainy environment, I might suggest looking, at other variants that have more waterproof and weather-resistant properties, such as EcoPack, which is out right now. They've got the CPL24 out. There's also the Phoenix 1 variant, which is in X-Pack. So between those two, you're going to get some better weather resistance. But if you're looking for, the OG, this 840D solution dyed material it's awesome. So the zippers are all YKK on this. The main clamshell zipper is a number 10, and the rest throughout the bag are number 8s. These zippers are, buttery smooth. They, even from the very first day, I don't really feel they needed to be worked in. They worked great. Maybe a little sticky at first, but it just feels so solid. And then over the days and the weeks and the months and the years, the longer you have the bag, the better these zippers just glide. But yeah, huge fan. So on the exterior, we've got the fabric, the zippers. We have EVERGOODS signature patch panel here. Because this is the mirrored variant, everything will be sort of flipped. It's a mirror of what is the standard edition. So we'll just bring this up real quick for a comparison. This is the signal blue version from a few years back, and you'll notice that the patch panel, the loop field with the logo is down here, whereas we have it down here. So handle also on this side instead of, I guess we'll keep this up for a moment. Here the handles are on the inside of the bag. We have it here on the regular version and on this side of the bag for the mirrored version. Zippers, obviously starting in the opposite place. And then, on the inside of the bag, it's all pretty much the same, just flip-flop design, and you still have your laptop compartment here on the side of the bag. So no changes in this layout other than a flip-flopped version. So let's take a look here. It is a clamshell bag, so we have a zipper path that almost circumvents the entire bag. It terminates here at these 2 nylon poles. These are great. These give you all sorts of leverage when you're zipping the bag. They also can act as small gear loops if you need to tether extra stuff. So multi-function aspect to this small little webbing. We have a front zipper here, which is going to expose the admin pouch, the admin panel, if you will. And there's a mesh pocket right here. And I've just got my, my notebook that I keep with me every day. And then you have two slip pockets, one smaller one and one larger one. I've just got the pen for the notebook, and in here is currently just a hero clip. And nothing, I don't really keep too much over here. It's a little harder to get to, so it would be good for like a multi-tool, I think. It's a pretty perfect size for that, or maybe a slightly larger flashlight. But anything with a clip on it or a clasp, or small enough to slide in, is going to be a perfect fit for that. So, looking at the side of the bag, we have that handle I mentioned. This is that handle which is reinforced with an aluminum stay inside the bag. On both sides of the handle, we have two loops, which is the same material the handle's made of, minus the plastic reinforcement that's inside. So these are really here just for you to add extra stuff to your bag. Right behind the handle, as we move towards the back of the bag, we can see into the laptop compartment. The laptop compartment is actually behind this first primary section. This is designed for you to, put whatever else you wanted in here, but the crossover style bags, EVERGOODS designs, has a small loop up behind the yoke pocket. It's hard to show you on camera, but that loop will allow you to attach a water bladder, and then the hose can pass through either one of the sleeves which connect to the top of the straps. So, take this hiking, take this in the woods. If you're gonna bring water, you can bring a bladder and hang that here in this front compartment. Me, I don't use it for hiking. This is my daily carry bag often. So I've got my iPad in here, and sometimes I'll have a notebook or a small folder, maybe a magazine if I'm traveling. Now on the front side of the laptop compartment, we have a red nylon loop. This secures where the laptop's going to go. So this will fit up to a 16-inch machine. I just have a 14-inch MacBook Pro in here, and it is suspended on the bottom and on the sides, and it's just rock solid. Plus adding that nylon strap here with the hook and loop just secures it in once more. Another nice feature here is if you don't like this, if this is cumbersome for you, there's more loop down here, and you can just stick that right on the back and never think about it again. So laptop in and out at your desire. All right. Coming and taking a look at the top of the bag, EVERGOODS designs their bags to be ergonomic, and that's going to give the bag a more unique shape. It contours towards the front of your body as the straps come over your shoulders, and the patterning they've created allows for this yoke pocket to exist, which takes up space that otherwise wouldn't be there. And in here, I've got a cap half. This is a catch-all for my EDC. Take a look. I'll show you really quick what's in here. Pen, work badge, commuter pass, some minor first aid stuff. I've got chapstick, a couple flash drives in here, and then a small pocket knife and a light. This also comes in handy, as I'm going about my day, or if I want to bring gum, I can just keep it all in here, and it's easy to take out. I can put it back in whenever I need, but this is very handy. I also have my wallet, and there is a red lanyard tethered into the top yoke pocket up here, where I just have my keys clipped into them. but this pocket is incredibly well sized. So don't be scared thinking like, oh, I'm not going to fit a lot up there. You can fit a ton of stuff in these pockets that EVERGOODS designs up in the yoke area. One of my favorite aspects to their bags is that pocket in general. So also, while we're here at the top of the bag, we have the top handle. This is the same handle you're going to see on the side of the bag. Just nylon looped over some plastic, and you know, it's not uncomfortable, it's not super padded, but it does the job really well. And as you can tell, it sits very low profile when it's not being used. So that feature and design is really nice, keeps the bag very sleek looking, and you know, has a very minimal footprint. And we also have 2 more gear loops on the side of that top handle. That's going to bring us to the back of the bag where we have our straps. We'll start with the straps. So that water bladder hose pass-through will come right through here on either strap, and there's an opening inside the bag in that laptop compartment for you to slide the hose upwards, and it will just come right out here. The straps are made of Zote foam. It's a very comfortable foam. It's pretty dense. The straps are contoured, as you can see. They have this almost S shape, and they are a little on the narrow side compared to some other bags. I find them to be very comfortable. I think that they sit really well on your shoulders, and then when combined with the sternum strap, this bag just feels locked in. It just feels one with you, and I find that a benefit, especially when commuting. You know, I'm taking a couple trains to and from the office, so having something that feels close to my body and very comfortable, you know, makes the experience all the better. The sternum strap is connected by a series of daisy chain loops. This is reversible and removable. You can switch it around if you'd like, and you can also slide on some, you know, third-party sternum straps if this one, you know, isn't doing it for you. But this sternum strap is embossed with EVERGOODS logo right there. Now, the nylon straps that are connected to the backpack straps are not managed. They're just gonna dangle and be free here. So if that is something that bothers you, you're gonna wanna consider buying something to help with this, whether that's just a piece of hook and loop that you can loop around, or buying something, you know, similar to the Tom Binge strap keepers that you can just slide right on. I typically have those on the bag. I don't have them on right now, but I'm not a huge fan of the loose straps. I think that would be a huge improvement from EVERGOODS if they were to incorporate a small elastic keeper right here, and you know, even one right here in the strap. I think it would just make it a more premium product. Now, taking a look at the back panel, we have this monofilament fabric on top. It's very thin, it breathes really well, and underneath that is spacer mesh. And the spacer mesh is very soft, and you can almost feel it sort of moving and contouring to your fingers when you push down on it. It breathes pretty well. I've had no issues with this new edition of back panel that they've incorporated on their bags. The older bags were a more traditional sort of just foam panel, and it didn't really have any air channels. It didn't breathe very well. That was definitely a critique, and EVERGOODS came back and designed this. And this is a great alternative. It's very sleek, slides on and off your body, doesn't irritate or create abrasion on the clothing that I wear. And I have some merino shirts, which is nice because those are expensive. So this being soft and smooth is a nice complement for that. And then down here, the bottom of the bag, this is where some folks have issues with EVERGOODS bags. This is, you know, reported to dig into folks' lower back. I think That happens to do with how tall you are, probably more along the lines of, you know, how tall your torso is, what the length of your torso is. So I am just under 6 foot. This fits me perfect. I don't experience the back digging, but you know, that's just my reference point for you. There's a lot of information on the internet. EVERGOODS also has some fitment charts on their website, so take a look at that, see what that looks like, you know, on a human in a similar scale to, you know, how big you are. And that does it for the exterior of the bag. So we're going to take a quick look inside. This is loaded out for my daily carry. Again, this is a 24-liter backpack. So we will open her up. Let's see if it falls out. All right, so pretty good. Yeah, we're in here. So let's do, let's put the bag down on the table and take a look at what I'm carrying pretty regularly. This changes slightly throughout the year, but for the most part, this is consistent. So I have a Cap 1. This is what I use for my daily tech. Sometimes I keep my laptop charger in here, other times I just leave it at the office, so it does fit. I have a large 140 MagSafe charger for my Mac, fits in here no problem. But otherwise, this gives me my essentials. I have a set of Sony over-the-ear headphones, and you know, I mentioned I commute by train, so having the noise canceling aspect and these for flying is fantastic. Takes up a bit of space, but not really a problem. Sometimes I have an umbrella, you know, for those rainy days. Always a water bottle. I alternate around, but I tend to use this one most just because it's sleek, it's more thin, and this thing just works the best. This will keep your liquids hot or cold for like 12 plus hours at least. This is the Zoji Rushi 20-ounce insulated thermos. And then I have a small Peak Design packing cube, and in here I have my Arc'teryx, I think it's an Atom super light jacket, and I use this for, you know, the cold mornings or cold evenings when I'm coming home. If it's the summer, you know, this is probably being subbed for a rain jacket, but there's usually some sort of jacket or layer in the bag with me. And then lastly, under this elastic sleeve we see here, I keep a moleskin notebook that I use for work. So now that we're exposed and we can see inside the bag, we can see here there are 2 sets of nylon webbing. This is seen across all of the bags, most of the bags, not all the bags, in the CHZ, CTB, and CPL line, over 22 liters. Yes. The CPL16 does not have it, and the CTB20 does not have it. So these are very handy for me. Oftentimes I have a small pouch tethered up here, depending on what I'm bringing. Sometimes I'll have the Cap 1 with some fidlocks mounted up here. Sometimes it's a snack pouch or just some things that I want quick access to. So I find these very helpful and handy, but you know, some of the bags will have them, some of them will not. So this is a very simple elastic sleeve, stretch mesh sleeve, if you will, and I try not to put larger things in. I've seen pictures of folks with this bag where you know, they keep a large item in here for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden this is really saggy and it's kind of bagged out and it really never returns to its original place. So the most I'll put in here is some magazines, maybe some thin books, you know, my moleskin notebook I mentioned, and that kind of helps keep it, you know, from being worn and, you know, visibly worn out. And then here, this is where you're going to find that aluminum stay that supports your side handle. This is removable. I'm not sure why you would want to remove it. You know, if you're chasing you know, if you're chasing grams and trying to have a light pack, maybe you're going to remove it, but it's aluminum. It's pretty light and provides all that structure here on that side handle. So let's see, yeah, that does it. Nothing else inside this main cavity. Just gonna throw some stuff back in here. And we will take a look at the other side. So on the panel, we have a mesh pocket. This is very similar across many of EVERGOODS backpacks. It is see-through, allowing you to, you know, eye up what's in your compartment. And I've just gotten here a snack pouch. This one is made of some grid stop or ultra grid, one of the two, by Modicot, and I really like it. It's a cool little pouch. So I've been using that lately to hold on to my snacks. And here we have the traditional opaque pocket that you're going to see at the top of the internal panel. This is usually here, but this is the mirrored edition, so it is over here. This patch will tell you about the bag. We've got the 840D ballistic nylon, tells you a little bit about the harness. This has a, I want to say it's a 420 PU internal. I'll put the materials on the screen, but behind here I just stash two small topo pouches that I just kind of move from bag to bag. One's a small first aid kit, and the other is just a catch-all for some small stuff, business cards. Keep an air tag in one of those as well. But great layout. This is very traditional. You're going to see this across many EVERGOODS bags. Some additional organization in other, you know, lines of products EVERGOODS has, but this will be a very common sight to see. So in terms of everyday carry, you know, I think that actually this is good to mention. So I don't have a cap 2 in here. I often carry a cap 2 instead of the cap 1 for tech. This does not stand on its own without some good support in it, especially with a laptop in that front compartment or in the back compartment. So this doesn't stand. This is my everyday carry. Very comfortable bag, awesome to use, really love it. I really like the mirrored version. I swing things over my right shoulder, so having this come up and around and having access to this is just so nice. I trained my body to swing it the other way, but this is, you know, more natural for me. Now, the Signal Blue variant, this one stands on its own, and that's because it actually has cap 2s in here. So really the way you pack this out will show you that it can stand on its own, and it will stand on its own, but it doesn't always. So just be cognizant of that. And if you do like to use pouches, I like to show people how much fits inside of a backpack. There are 3 cap 2s in here, and I've got, you know, a couple nice colors for this last holiday weekend we just had. But yeah, this thing stands up great on its own if you pack it right. So keep that in mind. But hopefully this gives you an idea of, you know, my everyday carry, 3 cap 2s, otherwise the same layout. This is more particular to me. Laptop, notebook, headphones, you know, a layer. I could sub out, you know, the umbrella and probably compress that jacket down, put a lunchbox in here as well, or bring a lunch in a Tupperware container of sorts. But this guy does a great job. And one of my all-time favorite backpacks is the CPL24. I won't lie, I avoided it for a number of years because it didn't have bottle pockets, and I just I never wanted to put the bottle on the inside, and then I finally got one and got over, you know, that bit of concern, and it's been fantastic. And I really haven't looked back. I currently own 3 of these, so you know they're fantastic backpacks. So if you are on the fence thinking, oh, I need a bottle pocket, you know, maybe give it a try, because it's really not that bad. I trust my bottle, it locks, and I've never had a leak. Knock on wood. But you know, here are 2 quick EDC loadouts. We're not going to go through the cap 2s, but if you use pouches or cap 2s, hopefully this version gives you just a better understanding of how it fits. I do have one more here, and this is the Griffin CPL24. This is going to be the version we're going to use to look at some travel situations. 24-liter backpack. You're on the cusp of being, you know, a travel backpack. It's, you know, doesn't have bottle pockets, so that makes, maybe you can ding it for that. But I think this works really well, especially if you're not doing long-term travel. But I've seen folks who are very minimalist and can travel and do travel with the CPL24 indefinitely. Now, inside here, I have a Peak Design packing cube. This is the large one. This is packed for 5 days of clothes, so it has 5 shirts, 5 pairs of socks, 5 pairs of underwear, 2 pairs of shorts, and then I have up here a large DOP kit. This is the Air Travel Kit 2, and this has, you know, shampoo, body wash, combs, product. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Toothpaste, toothbrush, and there's still tons of room in this bag. I could easily still put in here my headphones. Say I'm going on a flight. This closes up no problem. There's still space in this front pocket. I'm not even using this at the moment, so you could, you know, put more contents up here. But the downside is there are no external bottle pockets, so you're gonna have to get a little crafty. I think you could certainly put one in here and this would still close. In fact, let's just pull it out. Ooh, it's fighting. Yeah, and that really isn't that packed. So I think this bag would do great for travel. The only downside I'd give it is no bottle pockets. Those are just handy stuff, you know, your passport or your phone, or, you know, gloves or a hat or whatever, you know, as you're going through security, just easy grab pockets. That's what they serve. They're not just for bottles. They're just stash pockets. So I got to throw something in there real quick. You know, receipts, whatever it is. And this one doesn't have it. So keep that in mind, but the large packing cube, large DOP kit, we got a water bottle and headphones in here. That's all in this bag, no problem. And you can still easily put your laptop and your, you know, your iPad for the flight in here as well. Now you might be saying, Eric, I'm not gonna bring 5 days of clothes. Maybe you're traveling for a weekend or you're just not a big packer. Well, here is the EVERGOODS packing cube, significantly smaller. And that takes up way less space. I think the Peak Design bag came probably up to here. So with that in there, you now have the ability to still bring your large DOP kit. Maybe you choose to go smaller. With the recent cap half in the summer edition, the X-Pack X42, I've got this converted to be my new sort of slim DOP kit. And if I was traveling more light and minimally, put my toothbrush in there, This is everything else I need. And you know, look at that. That is at least half the size of that air travel kit too. Granted, I don't have a lot of stuff in here. This is more minimal, streamlined. But I can still easily bring my headphones. I could still bring my water bottle. At this point, I'm bringing a sling. I'm putting a sling in here so I have sort of a 1.5 bag travel. Bring this to my destination, pull the sling out for day-to-day stuff, and I still have a ton of space in here. I could put, you know, I don't know, buy some food, maybe a small jacket or a layer. In EVERGOODS pockets, remember, these are all, you know, volume dependent. So what you put in this doesn't really eat into this. That's gonna be more sitting in this panel. So I think you've got a great travel option here as well. So this bag might be your sort of one bag fits all. Use it for work, use it for your daily needs, but then you can still take this on trips. 24 liters, probably big enough for most folks, but some folks might find it to be too small. So if that is too small, check out the CTB26. That's an awesome travel bag as well. And then the last thing I wanted to bust out was the small Peak Design packing cube, just so you can see some very popular variants. And it's about the same dimensions as the EVERGOODS packing cube, but much thinner. So this is now, this isn't popping over the zipper, right? You can see when I put this in, this is, you know, at least an inch over that zipper track. Whereas this is flush. By the way, 5 days of packing clothing in the large one. These each are matched with 3 shirts, 3 underwear, 3 socks, and 1 pair of shorts. So, you know, same amount of clothes, 2 different cubes, one fits a little bit better. But yeah, that's the CPL24. So over the years, we've seen multiple variations. This Signal Blue is older, it's 500D. Has the old school back panel that I mentioned earlier. Otherwise, all of these bags, they all have the same features. This one happens to be a mirrored variant, right? So it's reversed. This one is in some beautiful waxed canvas. And, you know, it's all really just what bag is right for you. So this being, in my opinion, one of the best overall backpacks you're going to find on the market in terms of price and features, materials, as well as warranty. I definitely recommend it, and I hope that, you know, what you're seeing in these different loadouts is helpful for you. Maybe this impacts your ability to, you know, make a decision for or against it. But anyways, thanks for tuning in as always. I appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.